Hi, my name is Rishika Chatterjee, and I'm in 9th grade, and my speech is about just AI and how gradual decay for the things we love just decelerate over time. Gradual decay for the things we love. A week before today, I was fully set on having ChatGPT write this speech for me, and honestly, it would have done a way better job than whatever I was going to spew up. But that's exactly when I realized every time we choose that kind of convenience, we're feeding something much bigger than a piece of software. We're feeding data centers, massive, energy-hungry systems that consume enormous amounts of electricity, water, and natural resources, often completely invisible to us. Right now, data centers already consume about 4.4% of electricity in the US, and that number is expected to nearly double in the coming years. All for what? An A in Lit, a shortcut to a simple task, a way to avoid thinking just a little bit harder? So while it feels like we're saving time, we might actually be costing the planet something far more valuable. And that's the problem I want to talk about today. I have a pet turtle at home. Her name's Gabby. She's a red-eared slider, and fun fact, she's not endangered at all. Her species is considered one of the most invasive in the world. Gabby is fine, but not all turtles are. Some species are disappearing, not because of natural predators, not because of evolution doing its job, but because of us. Because of pollution, habitat destruction, rising temperatures, and systems that quietly drain the planet's resources. The same invisible systems that power AI, the ones we rely on every day, are part of that damage. Because AI just doesn't use electricity, it uses water. A lot of it. In 2023 alone, data centers in the United States used about 66 billion liters of water directly, and that number is rising fast. Training a single large AI model can use millions of liters of water just to keep servers from overheating. And even something as simple as generating text, like AI task, asking AI to write an essay, still consumes water, just on a smaller scale. We don't see it, we don't feel it, but it's happening. Now think about where that water comes from. Often it's taken from regions that are already struggling, places dealing with drought or where water's already scarce. So while we're sitting comfortably asking AI to finish our homework, somewhere else resources are being stretched thinner and thinner. Every time we generate a response, stream a video, or store data in the cloud, there's a physical cost. Water used to cool servers, electricity pulled from power grids, carbon released into the atmosphere. It doesn't feel real because we can't see it. There's no smoke, no noise, no immediate consequence, but it's happening. Now think about polar bears. When most people picture climate change, they picture a polar bear stranded on a shrinking piece of ice, edited into a TikTok edit to stop AI. And yeah, it's become almost cliche at this point. But that repetitiveness exists for a reason, because it's real. Arctic ice is melting at alarming rates, and polar bears are losing the very ground they stand on. They rely on that ice to hunt, travel, to survive. And as temperatures rise, driven by energy consumption, emissions, and overuse of resources, that ice disappears. And data centers don't just use energy, they produce emissions too. In the United States alone, data centers are responsible for tens of millions of metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions each year, contributing directly to climate change. So when we talk about AI just being software, we're missing the bigger picture. It's not just code, it's our world, withering away in front of us. And it's connected to everything. Ever since I was little, my favorite animal was a cat. I love everything about them. Their independence, their curiosity, the way they can be just both soft and cuddly while still being sharp at the same time. But even animals like cats are being affected by the environmental damage we're accelerating. Not always directly, and definitely not in obvious ways, but through rising temperatures, disrupted ecosystems, and pollution that spreads through the air, water, and food chains. Wild cats, like pumas, tigers, and others, are losing habitats. Even domestic cats are affected by changing climates, increased disease spread, and environmental instability. And here's the part we don't like to admit. It's not just happening because of big cooperations, it's not just governments, it's us. It's our choices. Every time we choose convenience over awareness, speed over sustainability, ease over effort, we contribute just a little more. And that choice doesn't seem like a big deal. But but millions of people are making that same choice every day. That's where the damage happens. That's where things start to corrupt. Because this just isn't about the environment anymore. This is about how we think. We're slowly training ourselves to rely on systems that do the thinking for us, the writing for us, the creating for us. And while that might make life easier in the short term, it comes at a cost. Not just to the planet, but to us. We can't critically think anymore. And we can't even find the answers to our homework sheet without using AI. And at the same time, the systems we're relying on are growing more powerful, more resource intensive, and more deeply embedded into our daily lives. It's a cycle. We rely more, they consume more, the planet pays more. And the scariest part, it's happening quietly. There's no single moment where everything collapses, no instant where we realize this is too far. It's gradual. Ice melting slowly, species disappearing quietly, resources being drained without us ever seeing it happen. Gabby, my turtle, doesn't know any of this. She just swims around, eats, and lives her life, but there are countless animals who don't have that security. Polar bears are struggling to find ice, turtles losing nesting grounds, wildcats losing habitats, and all of it is connected to a system we interact with every single day without thinking twice. Now, I'm not saying we should stop using AI completely. Heck, I even use AI to make myself an organized list or a summarized study guide. AI has some benefits. It can help us learn, innovate, and solve problems, but what I'm saying is we need to be aware. We need to start asking questions. Do I really need to use this right now? Am I choosing convenience because it's easy? What is the hidden cost of this action? Because change doesn't start with massive global shifts. It starts with small awareness. People choosing to think instead of outsourcing every thought, to create instead of generate everything instantly, to pause and consider the impact of their actions. Because right now, the biggest danger isn't AI itself. It's how mindlessly we're using it. If we keep going down this path, prioritizing speed, ease, and convenience, we're not just changing technology, we're changing the planet, and we're changing ourselves. So the next time you open AI to do something for you, I want you to pause just for a second, not to feel guilty, not to stop completely, but just to think. Because that small moment of awareness, that's where change begins. And maybe, just maybe, that's how we protect the things that can't speak for themselves. I'm talking about the polar bears, the turtles, and the cats, and ultimately, our future. Thank you.